Okay, student. SY Anti-Y BSc, topic number 2nd, Introduction to Coordination Chemistry. So in last, it is the third lecture on the topic Introduction to Coordination Chemistry. So in first lecture and in second lecture, I have explained the basic terms that are involved in the coordination chemistry. The new term involved in the coordination chemistry will be first and second coordinations pair. So actually, if we consider any complex or coordination compound, so I take one example. Suppose it is a K3 APCN6. This is one example. Based on that, I can explain the first and second coordinations pair. The second example, I consider CONH3 6 times Cl3. So we consider here complex potassium ferrocyanide. So complex ion is that is ApCN6 minus 3, and in this case complex ion is CONH36 and it is a plus 3 is there. So when you consider the concept of first and second coordinations pair, the first coordinations pair of the complex is denoted by enclosing its formula, by enclosing the complex ion formula in square bracket. Means here in square bracket ApCN6 minus 3 is there, so it belongs in the first coordinations pair. Now here CONH36 Cl3, again it is a complex ion, CONH36 plus 3. In short, the conclusion is that the complex ion present in coordination compound is generally present in first coordinations pair, while additional radicals are present, either cation on the left side or anion on the right side. These are considered to be present in second coordination pair. So here 3 potassium are present in second coordinations pair, and here 3 chloride ion are present in the second coordinations pair. So it is a concept, means which ion, when you consider coordination compound, which ions are ionized, so it can be concluded from the first and second coordinations pair. So you consider any example. Third example, suppose I consider AlOH3 and suppose it is again Cl3. So it is a trioxalato plus 3. Trioxalato aluminate third chloride complex is there. So again here this trioxalato aluminum ion complex ion is AlOH3, it is a minus 3. It is present in first coordinations pair, and 3 chloride here 3 potassium ions are present in second coordinations pair, 3 chloride ions are present in second coordinations pair, here also 3 chloride ions are present in second coordinations pair. Means generally complex ion is present in first coordinations pair, and additional radicals either left side or right side the square bracket belong in the second coordinations pair. So it is a concept of the first and second coordinations pair. So in this topic we are to study the different terms, concepts that are used in coordination chemistry. Another point is charge on the complex ion. Charge on the complex ion. So charge on the complex ion, the charge on the complex ion is the algebraic sum of the separate charges of the constituent ions. When you consider a complex ion, it contains metal atom or metal ion and ligands are there. So if we add the charge on the metal plus charge on the all ligands, so we get the charge on the complex ion. For example, here, so algebraic sum of the charges of the constituents ions. So it is in chart the definition, algebraic sum of the charges of the constituent ions. Example I can again give here. Example, if we consider the complex NiH2OC complex ion having +3 charge. So here oxidation state of nickel will be +3, +6 water molecules are there. On each water molecule charge is 0, so is equal to +3. Okay, algebraic sum of the charges of the constituent ion, +3 and 0 is equal to +3, so it is a charge on the complex ion. Second example I consider, suppose FeCN6, it is a -2 is there. So charge on the Fe, if we calculate charge on the Fe, it is a -2, it is a -6. Okay, so we have to find out the charge on here. So it is a, if we assume it as X, then 6 ions are there, multiplied by -1 is equal to -2. So X minus 6 is equal to -2, the +4. So instead of that I consider here -3. It is a K3FeCN6. Complex is actually K3FeCN6. So here -3 charge is there. If we consider K4FeCN6, it is a -2 charge is there. So if we consider for convenience purpose this particular passage, so it is X, we have to find out the charge on this. First we find out the oxidant. You assume it as X, 6 ions are there, on each cyanide charge is -1 and is equal to -3. Means actually charge on the complex ion, you are able to find out the oxidant state of the metal present in the complex ion. So I have written here, I have considered +3 oxidant state of nickel. Now I can reverse it. Suppose we don't know the oxidant state of the ion, so we assume it as X, 6 multiplied by -1 is equal to -3. So X is equal to -3 plus 6, so is equal to +3. So means oxidant state of Fe is plus 3. So plus 3 minus 6 is equal to minus 3. Means charge on the complex ion, we must know the oxygen state of the metal ion. So it is a second example. I consider the third example. Suppose it is FeCN6. It is a minus 4 is there. It is again complex ion. But to find out the oxygen state of iron, so we assume it as X plus 6 into minus 1 is equal to minus 4. So X minus 6 is equal to minus 4. So X is equal to minus 4 plus 6. So X is equal to plus 2. Means FeCN6 minus 4, the oxygen state of Fe is plus 2. So plus 2 minus 6 is equal to minus 4. The algebraic sum of the charges of the constant ion, it is a plus 2, it is a minus 6 is equal to minus 4. So it is a charge of the complex ion. So by using this particular concept, we can find out the charge on any metal atom, so metal ion present in the coordination compound. So I consider one more example here. If we consider another example, you consider any complex, and in any complex we can find out actually the oxygen state of metal present in that particular case. So I consider the fourth example here. Suppose it is AlOX3 having plus 3 charge is there, minus 3 charge is there. 6, okay. So I have to find out the oxygen state of aluminum. Assume it as X. Then oxalato group have minus 2 charge. So 3 multiplied by minus 2, and algebraic sum should be equal to the minus 3. Means it is X minus 6 is equal to minus 3. So X is equal to minus 3 plus 6. So X is equal to plus 3. Means oxygen state of aluminum is plus 3. So plus 3, it is a minus 6 is equal to minus 3. So it is a charge on the complex ion. So I can take one more example. Suppose here FeSCN, so NH4 I consider NH4 twice. Okay, NH4, let us consider 3 times. Okay, ammonium hexathiocyanato, parent, third is the name. Now complex ion in this particular case is SCN6, it is a plus 3, it is a minus 3. We have to find out the oxygen state X plus 6 ions are there, SCN, each has minus 1 charge. So algebraic sum is equal to minus 3. So X minus 6 is equal to minus 3. So X is equal to minus 3 plus 6, so is equal to plus 3. So charge on the complex ion is minus 3. How it is? It is a plus 3, minus 6 is equal to the minus 3. So in this way we can find out the charge on the complex ion, and it is a basic algebraic sum of the individual charges of metal plus ligand is always equal to charge on the complex ion. So it is another concept that can be used in coordination chemistry, that will be charge on the complex ion. Then another point is that Two types of complex are present, that is labile and inert complex. Inert complex. Now here first is labile complex. So I give the example of here NiNH3 NiH2O 6 having +2 charge. If we add here ammonia NH3, so it get changed into NiH2O6 NiNH36 +2 charge is there. Means if you add in this aqueous complex of nickel ammonia, the water ligand exchanged with ammonia, we get formation of ammonia complex. Means here exchange of water ligand take place, but here it not get exchanged, means labile complex are those complexes in which exchange of ligand take place, means it is unstable, that's why it is called as labile. But if we consider amine complex of nickel, so amine ligands not get exchanged, so it is stable complex. It is unstable complex, it is a stable complex, so exchange of ligand not occur in this complex, so it is called as inert complex. So just basically we can say that it is a unstable, it is a stable, exchange of ligand take place, exchange of ligand do not take place. So it is another concept, is simpler concept is that, so we can explain the labile complex and inert complexes are there. Then another term that is involved. So actually we consider the classification of the ligand. First classification is based on the charge as neutral ligand, then second one will be the negative ligand, and another will be the positive ligand is there. Okay? Then another way to classify the ligand is depending upon the electron pair donating tendency. There are some ligands that can donate 2 pair of electron or 3 pair of electron to the metal atom or ion. Then those are called as polydentate ligand. So it can donate more than 1 electron pair. Then those are called as polydentate ligand. So in polydentate ligand actually, for example, if you consider oxalato, it donates 2 electron pair, means it is a bidentate. Ethylene diamine, it donates again 2 electron pair. So depending upon that, ligands are, these ligands are considered polydentate ligand, or it is also called as chelating agent. So I explain another term, that is metal chelate and chelation. There is a chelate term is there. Chelate. The term chelate and chelation means when polydentate ligand combine with metal atom or ion, it can form the metal chelate. Process is called as chelation. So the term chelate and chelation have been used to indicate the heterocyclic ring form. Heterocyclic ring form when substance containing two or more donor group combine with metal ion. Okay, the term chelate and chelation have been used to indicate the heterocyclic ring form when substance containing two or more donor group combine with metal atom or metal ion. Then the resulting compound is called as chelate compound or metal chelate. Substance that can donate two or more electron pair to metal atom or ion is called as chelating agent, and the whole process is called as chelation. Whole process is called as chelation. So I indicate, suppose if metal N plus is there, it reacts with 4x, it has lone pair of electron, 4x species. So we get the formation of here MX4 having plus N charge. So it is a metal complex is there. Metal complex. This X is known as complexing agent. Complexing agent or only ligand, simple ligand, as it donates only one electron pair. So it is a metal complex is formed. I consider another case, suppose M plus N, it combined with XX type of ligand. So it is X, it has two lone pair of electron, and here we get the formation of again the complex like this. And again it has plus N charge. So it is called as chelating agent. Chelating agent. It is metal ion and it is metal chelate. So it is actually a difference between the metal complex and metal chelate. So here ring structure is formed. It is the open structure is there. So actually if we consider properties of metal chelate, in the formation of metal chelate, formation of heterocyclic ring is essential. Metal chelates are formed by those metal ions which have high charge. The bond between metal and chelating agent may be covalent or coordinate also, and metal chelates are more stable as compared to metal complex. So these are the properties of metal chelate. Actually if we observe, it is a metal complex and metal chelate. Another question that can be asked will be differentiation or distinction between metal complex and the metal chelate. The differences between metal complex and metal chelate. If we consider these two different parts, so it is a metal complex it is a metal chelate. So where complexing agent form the metal complex. Ligand means monodentate ligand. Monodentate ligand form the metal complex, while polydentate ligand can form the metal chelate. Okay, it is also called as complexing agent. Complexing agent. It is called as chelating agent. It is a chelating agent. Second point below that, heterocyclic ring is not essential. Here, heterocyclic ring is not essential. Here, heterocyclic ring is essential. Then third point, it is a non-cyclic compound. It is cyclic compound. Fourth point, it is less stable. It is more stable. So, I'll give you an example here. So, fifth point example of metal complex Cu Ni H2O6 plus 3 charge. Here I can write down Ni En thrice plus 3 charge. En means ethylene diamine. So in this way you can distinguish between metal complex and metal chelate. Monodentate ligand or complexing agent form metal complex. Heterocyclic ring is not essential. These are non-cyclic, less stable. When you consider metal chelate, polydentate ligand or chelating agent form metal chelate. Heterocyclic ring is essential. These are mostly cyclic, and that's why these are more stable. So it is another concept. So in whatever things I have explained, I can just in brief explain those points, and then I can start the new concept. So I have started with bond, chemical bond, definition of bond, then ionic bond, covalent bond, coordinate bond, then double salt, complex salt, differentiation between double salt and complex salt, then coordination chemistry, coordination compound, then complex ion, central metal atom or ion, central metal, then next point ligand, types of ligand based on charges, neutral ligand, positive ligand and negative ligand. Then again classification of ligand based on the capacity to donate electron pair as monodentate ligand and the polydentate ligand. Then I have explained coordination number. Then today I have explained the first and second coordination pair, charge on the complex ion, then labile complexes, then chelate, then properties of metal chelate, differentiation between metal chelate and metal complex. So all these terms are essential in explanation of the coordination compound. Actually another point is that how you can give the correct IUPAC name for the coordination compound, the nomenclature system for the coordination compound. nomenclature system for the coordination compound IUPAC names of coordination compounds or complexes. So there are 11 rules. With the help of that, we can give the correct name for any coordination compound. So today I can explain some rules. The first rule is that the cation is named first. Cation is named first and then anion. It is rule number 1. I take the example, suppose KBr. It is not coordination compound, but for example KBr. So we give the name as potassium bromide. Why potassium bromide? It is a cation, it is an anion. So same thing is there. K plus Br minus. K plus is cation, Br minus is the anion. Okay? We never say bromide potassium. When you say bromide potassium, it is first anion and it is a cation. So you remember that in any coordination compound, when you give the name, you always give the name first cation and then you give the name for anion. So complex may be cationic complex, complex may be anionic complex, or complex may be neutral complex also. So you always remember that in that particular coordination compound, you always give mention the cation name first and then the anion. For basically I take the complex example in this particular rule, that will be K2PtCl6. It is a K2PtCl6. Means here 2, if you consider ionization, 2K plus and plus PtCl6 minus 2 is produced. If we find out the oxygen state, reacts 6 chloride on each chloride, minus 1 charge is there, so minus 2, so X becomes plus 4. Means the oxidation state of potassium is plus 4. Now, why to give the name? It is a cation, it is an anion. Okay? So it is a potassium hexachloroplatinate 4. Whatever the point why to name cation first? So potassium hexachloroplatinate 4 is the name for this particular complex. So it is a rule number 1. Okay? Cation is named first, then anion. Second rule is that the molecular non-ionic species given one word name. Non-ionic complexes have given one word name. Means the complex not contain additional radical either on left side or on right side. Only in the square bracket ion is present. Then for this purpose we have to give a single name, only single name. So I take the example here, suppose PTNH3 to Cl4. So it is a neutral complex. Or in short, for neutral complex, one word name is given. So there is no any additional radical either on left side or on the right side. So the name will be tetrachloro diamine platinum 4. By 4, it is x minus 0 minus 4 is equal to 0. So x is equal to minus 4. If you take left side, right side, it becomes plus 4. So it is a one word name is given. Tetrachlorodiamine platinum 4. Means if ionization of that complex not occur, then it is a one word name is given. So it is a second rule. What is first rule? Cation is named first, then anion. Non-ionic complexes have given one word name. Then rule number 3 is that. Rule number 3. Now there are types of ligands are there. Some ligands are neutral, some ligands are negative, some ligands are positive. So question arises, which ligand named first? Okay, which ligand named first? So here the concept is that, instead of that I consider actually ending of the ligands. So ending of the ligand in nomenclature, ending of ligands. So neutral ligands are named as molecule. Some exceptions are there, like NH3. It is neutral, but in nomenclature it is called as amine. Then H2O, it is water, but if it is a ligand, it is called as aqua. Then carbon monoxide, it is called as carbonyl. Nitrogen oxide, it is called as nitrogen. Some exceptions are there, otherwise the name of the molecule is used as it is. Then a negative ligand end with O. Chloride, bromide, we can calling it as chloro, bromo, ido, thiosulfato, nitro, nitrito, so like this. So this particular system actually used here. Okay? Means negative ligand end with O, and if we consider positive ligand, so it is end with suffix or prefix ium. Okay, only two ligands are there, nitrocilium and hydrogenium. So these are the two ligands are there. So here generally, so specific ending is used for the ligand. It is the rule number 3. Neutral ligand named as molecule itself with some exceptions. Negative ligand end with O and positive ligand end with prefix or suffix ium. Then fourth rule is that the sequence of ligand in complex. If there are some complexes, it contains only one ligand, either neutral or positive or negative. But there are some examples in which neutral ligand and negative ligand mostly present. Then at that time, which ligand is named first? So here logic is that the ligand in a complex are named in the order as first negative, when the order of the ligand is first we have to name the negative ligand, second we have to name the neutral ligand, and third we have to indicate the positive ligand. So this sequence we have to follow. If at a time two ligands are there, then first you name the neutral ligand, so negative ligand, and then you name the neutral ligand, and then you name the positive ligand. I give one example here. Suppose it is a PTNH3,4. Example, PTNH3 4 times Cl NO2. So it is a example. Outside the bracket, SO4 is there. PTNH3,4 Cl NO2, outside the bracket SO4. Why to give the name? First thing you write on the complex ion. So on the complex ion, if it ionized, plus 2 charge is there, then you find out the oxidation state. So it is X, it is neutral, plus 0, it is -1. -1, it is again -1 is equal to +2. Means X minus 2 is equal to +2. So X is equal to +4. Means the oxidation state of platinum is +4. Oxidation state of platinum is +4. So I have to give the name. First negative, 2 negative ligands are there. One is chlorine, another is nitro. Now again alphabetically we have to see which is first. So it is a chlorine is first, A, B, C, then nitrogen. We never say nitro, chloro. We have to say chloro, nitro, then it is a tetramine, platinum 4 sulfate. Okay? Chloro, nitro, tetramine, platinum 4 sulfate. So first I have mentioned negative ligand, then I have mentioned the neutral ligand. So I have to follow this sequence during the nomenclature. Okay? So it is a rule number 4. Then rule number 5 is that, so how many ligands are there? Whether those ligands are simple or complex. If simple ligands are there like fluoro, chloro, bromo, hydro, aquo, so forth and so on, what do you use? Bi, tri, tetra, penta, suffix. Means if it is a 5 chlorine are there, you mention pentachloro. If 3 water molecules are there, you mention triaco. So to indicate the number of ligands, if those are simple ligand, then suffix, prefix, bi, tri, tetra, penta, etc. are used. But if it is a complex ligand like ethylene diamine, glyxymato, EDTA, acetyl acetanato, Then for this particular case, why to use the another prefix, that is a bis. Bis means 2. Tris, tetrakis, for complex ligand. Bis means 2, tris म्हणजे 3, tetrakis म्हणजे 4. Means for simple ligand bi, tri, tetra suffix are used. For complex ligand bis, tris, tetra, kis suffixes are used. Means how many ligands are there? Depending upon that, we have to give the correct name, whether those are simple or whether those are the complex. So we have to use this particular concept. Now rule number 6 is that there are 3 types of complexes are there. Cationic complex, anionic complex, and another will be neutral complex. So rule number 6 is that for anionic complex, ATE prefix is added. This is ATE. The ending for anionic complex is ATE. And for cationic complex, no, there is no any specific ending. And for neutral complex also, no specific ending is there. But only if the anionic complex is there, we have to end the name of the complex with prefix AT, aluminate, cobaltate, chromate, nickelate, palladium, platinum, platinate. So like this we have to use the, means if on the square bracket, if on the square bracket negative charge is there,